Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Pro Dota Commentary done by Luminous. This is Commentary 343, means 7 more to go. I am already just planning out my vacation after this. Gonna just go down and get some alcohol and get a whole bunch of pancakes. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with that. Obviously, I do not condone in drinking alcohol. Actually, I really hate drinking alcohol myself. I'm really a low gut man, and let's stick with that. I don't just best intro ever, right? Best intro. All right, LGD on the Radiant side, DK on the Dire. This game is from the G1 Tournament League or G1 League Tournament, and if you want to check out the rest of the tournament as well as this particular match, and of course this particular best of 3 between LGD and DK, I recommend you go to LD Dota's YouTube channel, and because it's all up there. Big shout out to LD and Gods providing some wonderful coverage of that tournament. But I'm just casting this particular game. I will not go into game 2 or game 3 because I've heard this game is crazy and I wanted you to bring you guys crazy games. And if you look at the picks, pretty crazy already as well. LGD had the first pick and the first ban, and they open up with the Bounty Hunter, Brewmaster, and Keeper of the Light. Now, Bounty Hunter first pick might be a little bit eyebrow raising, but he does have a really high win rate. So just on that fact alone, he is a very justifiable hero. I mean, he's often considered as the second best long lane hero right after Darkseer. You're pretty much in the right ballpark if you're comparing to Darkseer as a long lane, because Darkseer is as good as it gets when it comes to long lane. And simply, he does give you a great comeback mechanic through track. I think I've talked about Bounty endlessly because he's been in a lot of these games I've recently casted. But here's the thing though, DK picks out Queen of Pain, Leshrac, which standard heroes, and then they go into a Slardar. Now, I'm not sure if I haven't been following Chinese Dota or whatnot, but Slardar was never really a high pick. We saw a lot of Southern East Asian team use it from time to time, and to be fair, some of the Chinese team do use it as a niche counterpick, whatever the pronunciation is. God damn it, I hate French words because I can't spell them and I can't pronounce them. Is it niche or niche? Somebody tell me that. Is it facade or facade? You know, like it's hard. Le fromage, you know. All right. Anyway, Slardar as a hero, it's a niche pick, but he does quite a bit in this particular game. First of all, amplified damage does reveal invisible heroes. Obviously, it's going to be very good against Bounty Hunter, tracking him throughout the team fight, picking him off. Bounty Hunter generally does get into a Black King bar, and generally Black King bar against Queen of Pain, Leshrac, you're like, yo, bro, I'm not afraid of you. Slardar comes with minus 20 armor, as well as physical bash that goes through magical immunity. Yep, Slardar's got your number, Bounty Hunter, so that's a very powerful counter pick in my opinion. Secondly, Brewmaster Fire Panda is no joke. When you pop it, you know, team fight it goes amiss. One dude gets Cyclone in the air, one dude gets stunned for 2 seconds, and of course, your team is sustaining a lot of immolation, fire, right-click damage, and all that jazz. Slardar's got the Fire Panda's number as well. Fire Panda has 1200 HP throughout all levels, so he's very squishy, especially when you put that minus 20 armor on him. Yeah, he's going to get brought down very quickly. A lot of times when the Panda ult, you run. In this scenario, DK has the option to basically fight the Fire Pandas, kill it, and then start killing the LGD squad as well. So it's a questionable pick, I want to say, because I feel like there's also other better carry heroes, and Slardar is not one of those heroes that you want to take ultra into late game. This is DK Burning playing the hero, so we might see a very ultra late Slardar, and I don't think Slardar uses item as well as something, say, a Spectre or Morphling, you know the standard late game carries. And of course, the Dire team rounds it out with a Venomancer and a Windrunner being picked up. Let's introduce the Dire team. We have DK Burning, Farming Legend, best farmer of all time. Look at this early smoke. Ooh, did he buy it for himself? He can't have bought it for himself, can he? He's got no regen and a smoke. He's bought it for himself. Damn. Alright, looks like they expect fully a Bounty Hunter's going up top, and they have expected correctly, and they want to kill him quick. Let's see if it's going to actually work out. As I say, DK Farming Legend, Burning is going to be playing the Slardar. We have Kung Fu Panda going to be playing the Windrunner. Don't know who that is, but he knows what's up. Great tag. We have QQQ or 357 playing the Venomancer. We have MMY going around the jungle with Leshrac. I was gonna say I don't know what role he's gonna play, because MMY, or better known as X or Die, really known for his solo mid plays, but I just saw his Observer Wards and definitely playing support. Obviously, we have the other solo mid legend, Super, or known as Yeru, as he is gonna be handling Queen of Pain this game. And yeah, the lane is going to be somewhat elementary. We're going to have QQQ and MMY most likely going on the top lane to support Burning, and then we have Kung Fu Panda going on the bot. But let's see what we got right here on the LG side. We have DDC going to be playing the Lion. We have SC going to be playing the Keeper of Light. Sylar, replacement for ZSMJ. This is about 2 years ago. And I have to say, when ZSMJ got replaced, a little bit of my heart died. And because of such, I was never a big fan of Sylar. But with that said, Sylar, once he came on team, LG started winning like crazy. So maybe ZSMJ needed to be kicked. Yeah, I was going to be going to mid lane here with the Brewmaster. And finally, we have the Picker on the top lane here, Shao 8, going into lane. But Sentry Ward in position. Observe, what the hell is this Observe Ward? And here we go, they see him immediately. There's going to be the, oh, nice Gale into a splitter. And going to be a crush. Free kill, couple more right clicks, and Burning, of course. We'll be getting the last hit, so didn't even need the early dust because they have sentries, but hey, double the protection. That sounded pretty wrong. That's not what I wanted to say. Double the reassurance. And then it made me think double the protection. I'll let you guys think why even, yeah. Alright, okay, so great first blood attempt here by DK, and with that, Burning is going to be accelerated very much so into the mid game once he gets his farm going, in which he will get his farm going. The question is he going to be going for something like a Midas first? I mean, why not? Let's dream big, right? Of course, Bounty Hunter can't really get anything done, realizing that there is Sentry Ward up the wazoo, and looks like he's going to come out and gank Super. Now, all he's going to do is provide a couple of right clicks after a backstab coming out as well, and I guess Bounty Hunter could also be doing a little bit of Warcraft 3 ladder action, as we have the blink in from Yeru, kill the courier. Jesus, that's huge. That's little less than a tower kill goal, and we're freaking 1 and 40 seconds in, 1,000 goal lead after the first blood, as well as a courier kill. Wow, everything that could have went wrong for the Radiant squad went wrong for the Radiant squad. DK playing very, very well early and got lucky breaks here and there. Meanwhile, we have a huge mass exodus of creeps being drawn here by Shao 8. He's going to pull it all the way from freaking here to here. Can he make it out there? That's a question. Gale has hit on Shao 8. Do they have the dust? That's a question. Yes, you bet they will. There's going to be a dust splitter, and Shao 8 is going to give up another kill, and these creeps now be like, well, let's go back on the other side. Invisibility rune has not been snatched up yet. I do believe they are saving that for Super. Wow, great roaming gangster coming from DK. And to be honest, they are so far ahead. It's only been 2.5 minutes of gameplay, but DK is so far ahead. I will check out the other lanes in just a bit. Let's look at how the mid lane is doing. 14 CS to 11 and 12 CS on Panda. Normally in a melee versus a range Queen of Pain matchup, I will give that Queen of Pain the win all the freaking time, because Shadow Strike is no joke when it comes down to harassing melee heroes. They're so slow, you're gonna right click them down. But to be honest, Panda very intense as a mid lane ganker, or as a mid lane hero, because he could clap and whatnot. But there is gonna be the slow and pause. Well, now Yao has a couple seconds to think about what is going to be happening to him. I could venture that disconnect, reconnect. This is the beauty of replay. We could fast forward AX speed. I could just imagine LD and Gods are finding things to say right now. Oh, let's check out farm. Look, Lucia's got 20 CS, and Queen of Pain's got 16. Slar's got 15, but she's got the first blood. DK's got 2 kills, courier snipe, a lot of goal difference. Let's pull up to see. Yeah, 1,500 goal difference, but we replay. We could. Well, this is. Oh, there you go. Disconnect. No, reconnect. Jesus. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Fast forward. Why is the courier here? I'm curious now. Is replay messing up? This is a long pause. All right. Oh, reconnect. Are we good? Go. Sorry. All right. 3, 2, 1. But bam. Oh, just the corpse, and they're gonna be blink on the high ground here. The Gale has been hitting, and I do believe Yao is gonna be going down. Who's gonna get the last hit? That is the question. Venomaster does pick it up for himself. I personally, by the way, love when support get kills especially in these pro games, because they know how to use it go well. And accelerating to your boosted speed is very, very vital in terms of keeping up your ganks, keeping up your aggressions. When you have boosted speed and they don't, you become, even as a support hero, a great assassin in the early game. And that's what Venomancer had the advantage for. But on the bot lane here, Sylar keeping up in terms of farm. In fact, leading game, not really missing a single last set. We are 3.5 minutes in. He's got 25. You do the math. That's pretty insane. And obviously, Windrunner, decent long lane hero, has picked up level 2, but with the rotation of DDC was, oh, look at this nice pulling. Pulling from here, tangle through, pull this one, and then now pull it over here. That's something you see in guides, but people don't actually put it in games because it's so hard to do in games. But that's what DDC is doing it for you, man. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't see it myself. And it looks like we have the regen room being picked up here. Level 2.5, Keeper of Light almost hitting level 3. Line's also level 3. Well done here. The pool has accelerated their level advantage. And really, they kept Kung Fu Panda off the lane. That's pretty good. Now, with that said, let's look at the level of this Bounty Hunter. He's got 2.5, pretty decent. After the Sentry Ward has been ran out, he has been able to sneak up and get a little bit of XP. But how much EXP will he get? That's the question. Let's quickly check out how we're doing in terms of the EXP. Slightly here on the diet, very surprisingly so, simply because that we do have, well, not that surprising because there is a 3-kill advantage on the dire side. But yeah, just looking at this line and looking at this Keeper of Light being so highly leveled in a tri-lane, that's not been getting any kills. Pretty impressive indeed. Meanwhile, the DK tri-lane is trying to mimic that themselves, doing a little bit of, you know, double pulling action, triple pulling action, and this early game is going to be somewhat tame. You know, we saw DK getting a couple kills here and there, and then generally that's not of the norm because generally most pro Chinese team, they keep their heroes alive in the early game very easily because they have things like these observer wards scoping out the Venomancer coming in. And it looks like we do have the Keeper of Light rotating in as well. Boot speed early being picked up here. Same thing with the line. Let's see how the supports are doing on the dire side. I imagine so. Boot speed again. It's not too uncommon to see this like that, but a lot of times this is a scenario you want to pick up boot speed. I'll talk about it in a bit. There's gonna be a amp damage on Xiaowei. They do see the Xiaowei crush, and there's gonna be a splurf, and then the couple more right clicks. Great early game kills being picked up here by the Slaughter. But let's go back to the boots speed. If you have a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, boots is not what you want to pick up. Magic Stick is. But when you are on different sides of the map and you're not really contesting into each other, you want the boots so you could get the ganks off a little bit better. Yao coming in position right now, getting of course, a clap off, getting a couple creeps. The rune is going to get held up on the top lane, of course, by Queen of Pain. And this this Bounty Hunter is just having such a tough time. He is going to see the Venomancer coming in. And, well, I mean, he's level 2. Invisibility rune gets picked up here and used instantly on Super. And really, I mean, this is so awkward. So Xiaowei sees this, so he's not going to pop out. Meanwhile, they do see him coming out as well. Yao comes in. Yao is level 6 with the Primal Split. And, again, they do see him coming in, rotating in as well. Sight is everything in this early game. We saw the importance of Sight picking off the Bounty Hunter early on. We saw the lack of Sight resulting in a death, or maybe they did have the wards and Yao was not paying attention. Or the Invis Rune. I remember, the Invis Rune gets snatched up on the Venomancer. Again, Sight is so important in this early game. And DK had better usage of Sight, and thus better Sight, and thus better killing attempts. 0 and 4 and a tier 1 tower for DK right now. They are leading by so much EXP and gold. We're up to about 3,000 gold in about 7 minutes of gameplay. Silo has picked up a level of his ultimate, which allow him to become a lot tankier. Of course, a drawback is the minus 35 movement speed, which if you're hunkering down on the spot lane and looking to farm for an hour, you know, the minus 35 attack speed, or 35 movement speed is not that big of a deal. And of course, still lasting up like a boss, 51 CS in about 7.5 minutes. There is 8 creeps in per wave. In 7 minutes, you have about 56, and of course, you add the half minutes. You have about 60 creeps. Saw about 60 creeps. He has lasted about 52 of them. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty insane, if that's what I have to say. Now, obviously, yeah, last hitting Slipper is not exactly the hardest thing, but you know, still, and he's not exactly doing it against too much disruption as Winner being constantly kept out of the lane. Of course, you guys on the background could hear about the beautiful and the dangerous city I do live in. Burning is going to be roaming to perhaps grab a rune into a gank. The problem with this is it's very, very difficult to gank a Brewmaster on the mid lane. This is one of the reasons why Brewmaster is one of the better hero in the mid lane, simply because he's very, very tanky. He could handle a lot of punishment being thrown his way. He could farm relatively well even against range hero. You walk up to him, clap, and that clap just hurts so much. You can even get off a couple of physical attacks against the enemy hero, and like that, you know, clap and go back, clap and go back. If you have enough mana to support it. And last but not least, it is so hard to actually get a gank on him because, well, you gank him, he primal splits. Very annoying to deal with. Obviously, he does not have the mana to use it right now, but definitely can. Where has Slaughter been? Slaughter's going on the bot lane. Blink! Wow, look at this. Blink dagger and Tread's already being picked up. He's going to keep it on int for now. And of course, he will be using a lot of mana. That's why he's leaving it on. Look towards him to actually switch mana. Oh no, Kung Fu Panda! Don't pull the creeps right now. I gotta assume that the Radiant team suspect a lot of heroes been missing. Slaughter's been missing off the map for a long time. And these guys are not coming on the farm. Look at this. Using the bear, microing it, come out the farm, so really keep the tower, keep the hero in a very safe spot under the tower. And you can see that Queen of Pain and Slaughter not exactly having the best of time. This is a very big drain in terms of their time because they're not really farming. But to be fair, we do see Leshrac getting like some crucial levels, max Splitter and maxing Diabolic Edict as the second spell, and Burning still being extremely patient. They know that Silas farming very well right now. They gotta stop him, but even with the 2 or 3 man gank party, Sylar is still farming because he's microing his bear like crazy. On the top here, oh, the dust has hit on the Bounty Hunter, but unfortunately the Gale has not. They will replenish their mana instantly and try it again after the dust cools down. Still being extremely patient is DK Burning. This is about 1.5 minutes of wasted time. Can they get the kill? Meanwhile, Queen of Pain has already went back on the mid lane. The question is, even with the blinking, can they get it on Sylar? Sylar's got 1300 HP, whole bunch of armor to work with. They have DDC supporting with a Hex and Impale. I'm not really sure whether they can. I think they can go get the kill on DDC though, but Sylar has, or Burning has really finally gave it up, and again, Sylar's farm has not been interrupted at all. 70 CS almost is coming his way. But meanwhile, the Bounty Hunter might not expect a gank coming his way as Burning is not farming this game. He is playing the ganker. And to be honest, if you're playing Slaughter, that is the way that you have to do it. Blinking, Crush, Amp Damage, Split Earth, and Shout 8 is going to go down yet once again. 0-4-0. Very tough game for Shout 8. And it's not like he's playing bad. He's playing as well as he could have. But those patient ganks leaving for 1.5 minutes, coming right back for DK Burning, gets yet another kill, and Diabolic Edict start going to be chopping down this tower. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, we're going to have a Impale Hex Finger of Death combo. Going to get them a kill. Meanwhile, Horses coming in here to weaken this push, but Edict as well as Siege Unit allowing them to get the kill. The question is who's going to get last hit, and it's not really a question because Burning is under tower, so thus he will pick up the kill as well. Goal difference. 5k goal lead with 2 tower destroy, and finally the Radiant side picked up a kill against the Windrunner, and that's going to allow Lone Druid to get some farm. But right now it's DK's game. They're playing in their momentum. Blink Dagger and ultimate, and QQQ is going to go down. Not really sure whether they even needed that ultimate, but looks like the Storm Panda going up on the high ground gets one hit in. Storm Cyclone, very nicely micro. I'll talk about, no, that's it, no more action. If you're playing Storm Panda, or if you're playing the Brewmaster and you're migrating the Storm Panda, one of the more important things you have to do, or keep in mind that you should do, is that when you're using Windwalk, you actually get 100 extra damage when you backstab out of Windwalk. And a lot of times I see, you see fleeting enemies, I see players using the Storm Panda, they Windwalk forward, and then they use that Cyclone immediately. You could do that, you get the job done, but you're missing out on 100 backstab damage when you come out of Windwalk. So something slightly small, but it's a good sign of a great Panda player when you just put in those tiny little details that really take advantage of whatever your hero offers. 4-man smoke party coming on the bottom here again. Burning playing like the hero should be playing. Oh, SC. I guess it worked out a little bit better here for LGD that SC really took the full Brunto and not the Syllabur or the Line, because you don't really want to lose the Syllabur. The Line you don't want to lose as well. Impale gets dodged up right now. Are they gonna blink right in? Blink coming off cooldown in just a bit. But no, the bear is canceling the Blink Dagger, and I think they're going to get another tier 1 tower out of this. Now, of course, this is a huge lead. 4 kill lead, about 7,000 goal lead almost. It really feels like DK have to get this lead for them to even walk into the mid game, because obviously, like I previously mentioned, Burning's hero is not a late game hero at all. Like this lineup goes about 40 minutes, and once you go past the 40-minute mark, they start to lose a lot of steam. And as such, you gotta be very far ahead early on to start punishing the enemy lineup. And they are that far ahead, and the question is, will DK drop the ball somewhere down the line? It really doesn't take too much to come back from a deficit like this. You just have to win one team fight, and suddenly that 4-kill advantage, well, it swings around. That 2-tower kill advantage after a team fight, you could take down 1 or 2 tower, depending how late in the game that you are. So I don't want to count LGD out of this at all, but right now DK just playing it perfectly. Says, well, we got the tier 1 tower, they can't even come and fight us right now, we have a slaughter, so let's amp the hell out of this Roshan. Look at how low level burning is, and that's not an enemy and negative criticism to him. That's to say that he is playing the way that his hero meant to be played, ganking very, very actively, taking down towers, and even taking down Roshan. 14 minutes in, insane goal lead. Ooh, horses again coming in, doing insane amount of damage. But 14 minutes in, we have a lot of goal lead, a lot of experience lead, and LGD, they're really playing on the behind. Nice blind usage from SC. Blind throughout this game is going to be very, very crucial in terms of protecting his teammates from the physical right clicks of DK, simply because of amp damage is also going to be amping up a lot of physical right clicks. Kung Fu Panda had a tough lane early on the bot, will now get a little bit of moment time in terms of finding some CS. Looks like we're going to see an early Ring of Regeneration into Mech. Normally, if you're doing better on the Windrunner, you will still want to rush the Mech. He's not doing that well right now, but Mech is very, very important in this early component of the game. Again, this game wants to play for 40 minutes, and the earlier you grab Mech, the more effective it's going to be, as the static healing of that 250 HP never gets better. As your HP pool gets greater and greater, you're going to be healing less and less up of your HP pool. But if you get it very early, you win some big lopsided team fights. So now with the Aegis Immortal up, what is the DK team going to do? Are they going to try to push down this mid tower? It's going to be difficult. There's 3 or 4 heroes waiting on the other side. Speaking of which, Bounty Hunter already hits level 7. I don't know how he found that level 7. He was having a really tough time on the top lane, but I guess he had a lot of free time rising as a gank was going on along the bot lane. DK burning, going to be going for Black King Bar after this. Again, looking for more gank smoke usage up this ramp, most likely. Going to be ancient creeping for a little bit for now. What is he going? He's going to blink back out here and farm the bot lane. All right, but I would like to see some smoke ganking coming out soon. The previous one was very, very successful. Got to kill on the Keeper of Light as well as the tier 1 tower. They got to keep it up. Keep up the pressure. Don't let LG have any inkling of comeback. What is this? A 16-minute Radiance, 100 CS. Jesus, did he just go naked Radiance? He did. He just went boots Radiance. Normally, when you're down 4 kills like this and the goal difference is 7,500, you expect that you don't... Jesus. Is anybody as appalled by this early game Radiance as I am? I don't even know how he found it. VK's been on his ass all day, and he still got that early game Radiance. That's... I mean... He's a protege of ZSMJ, right? Oh, not protege. Replacement of ZSMJ. ZSMJ could not have done it better himself. That's all I'm going to say. Now it looks like the pressure is coming against them as we're going to use a Keeper of Light offensively. Oh man, that illuminating is way, way too much. And of course, you know, they can't really push back against either. Both teams just putting 3 or 4 heroes on the mid lane. And this is because particularly the LGD teams, they really don't want to lose that tier 1 tower. They cannot lose that tier 1 tower. Once they do lose this tier 1, that slaughter roam gank party is going to come. They have way too much path to go in. They could go in from this way into the jungle, or this way into the jungle, or even this way into the jungle, and suddenly you don't have a place to farm. And to be honest, where do you go to farm, right? Sylar now is going to be using his bear and just use a little bit of Radiance farming. And to be honest, pressuring the top lane a little bit, slowly the scoop is going to go towards the tier 1 tower, and then the dire team is going to have to go back. But for now, SC is keeping this lane from being pushed, and he's got an early mech as well. In fact, he's got the mech quicker than the dire team. The dire team's still working on theirs, and I think this is a huge win. Well, they haven't won anything yet, and that mech is going to hopefully help them win team fights. But that's huge, considering that right now LGD is going to be losing in team fights. I feel like the heroes are not nearly as strong compared to a Blink Dagger Slaughter. But having the mech and able to prolong your teammate's life, so you could drop a couple more nukes, you could drop a couple more tracks and stuns and whatnot, is absolutely vital. Absolutely vital. DK just cannot find a single opening. They're teleporting around, they're trying to push in mid, they're trying to push in bot, trying to get ganks, and they can't do it because LGD is playing 5-man Dota. Exceptional positioning here from both teams. One team trying to poke and prod, the other team unmovable wall, not really allowing to go in. DK burning, going up the hill right now, but look at this. SC from the trees. Horses coming in, but bam. weakening this push, and all your creeps are dead. Double damage rune gets picked up here by Yao. Keep in mind that, again, hard to also siege up the hill. You can't just walk up the hill against a Brewmaster, as he will blink, clap, and you know, start a team fight like that. Tracked is Slaughter. I feel like DK has a ticking clock on them. We are still very, very early in the game, only 18 minutes in. But I feel like there's a sense of urgency that DK has to get something going. Again, if this game goes late enough, it's not going to be good for them. I mean, he had a 15-minute Radiance. I have not paid attention on how quickly he was farming. Now boost speed up on Spirit Bear as well. I imagine it's going to be turned into Phase. We might even upgrade this into a Tranquil Boots. Although I don't think he needs Tranquil Boots anymore. Tranquil Boots generally fairly good if you're farming. You want some slightly smaller components before you finish Radiance. After you finish your Radiance, your farm's going to be accelerated such that you want to go for bigger items. So DK, again, another smoke attempt. Is that the question? Scythe of Vice finish. 19-minute Scythe of Vice. Not exactly the most impressive thing, considering that 3 tower has been taken down, as well as a single Roshan. So earn about 800 gold off his team. But with that said, 19-minute Scythe of Vice is absolutely no joke. Here we go. They want to gank up this ramp, and they will be able to do it undetectedly. Meanwhile, the other side is going to be ganked up as well. The crush has been missed, and now Teamfight breaks out. Sonic Wave does hit on everybody. MMY's on the run. The question is, will he get stunned? Yes, he will. That's going to be 1 kill against a support Leshrac. I think that's pretty decent. Breaking out Invis. Cyclone, no, he does blink away. Although even with Cyclone, I don't think they could have caught up. I think that was fine. Both teams used the smoke, so that was a pretty even exchange. Sonic Wave for a Panda ultimate, and the Panda ultimate only got a Leshrac. I think once Leshrac comes back alive, look towards DK. Look towards DK, all teleporting on the mid lane and try to muscle down this tower. I think they would feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more confidently pushing down this tower without the defense of that Panda and Brewmaster ultimate. Let's see if that's going to be what they're doing. Teleport up on the top lane here from the Slaughter, defending this. Again, this goes back to what we previously saw, using the Radiant Spear, burning this and pushing it towards on the top lane and forcing a teleportation. Again, delaying that push on the mid lane a little bit further. And no, seems like DK cannot go in on the mid lane or teleport mid, because again, 2 or 3 heroes constantly defending. Sure, they don't have the Panda ultimate, but they still have barrages after barrages of Illuminate, which they have been dropping. LG is this brick wall that you can't jump into, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're 20 minutes in and they're turtling like champions. 9 kills in this 20-minute game. I hope this game gets a little bit more epic, and I imagine it will, because it's very, very highly recommended as a replay. But as now, we're seeing some very highly strategical moves from the LGD squad. DK wants to go in, LG just really preventing from doing so. And how funny in a sense that the exact moment that the Dire team was going for a gank, that's at the same time as LGD was going for a gank as well, through the exact same path. And unfortunately, the Dire team got the worst of that exchange, as the crush didn't hit anything. Maybe if the Dire team hit a 3 or 4 man crush with a blink dagger going in, it could have been a lot better. But I'm not sure how, why Bernie just crushed the ground. Maybe his blink dagger got cancelled. I don't think it got cancelled. In any case, again, the push is now finally going to get resumed. Panda, that's illusion. But I think this tower finally is going to go down. It's going to go for the deny with the illusion. Good try here. Not going to fall for it, DK. And finally, with this tower going down, are they going to do a little bit more? It just looks like they're going to defend this tower. But yes, with this, like I said earlier, with this tower down, it's so vital. They would say this word and they will deny it instantly. Yeah, it's so vital to open up this tier 1 tower on the mid lane. And this is going to really allow the gank path to be extremely easy. Of course, dewarding up the hill as well, and there's a smoke behind the trees, and with that tier 1 tower going down, they want a little bit more action. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th smoke I've seen DK going, and they will find themselves a bounty hunter. Where's the Slaughter? That's the question. Their best ganker is not with them. They really need to amp damage. Do they have detection as well? I think this is a horrible team fight choice. If they want to take a team fight right now, I think they're looking for a quick pickup. Will they get the quick pickup? Blink back out here. Chainsun's got to be perfect. So far, not looking too good, but they're trying to burst him down. Can you burst him down? No! DK missed a Chainsun, and now the team fight goes the other way. Slaughter is trying to run in from team fight. No! MMY's going to go down. The Cyclone up in the air. They see QQQ, and they want Panda. Kung Fu Panda gets stunned. Where's the Impale? Where's the Finger? They will bring him down very quickly, saving the Finger. Burning's in position. 6-second Cyclone in the air as well. Look at Yao. He's so low. He's still alive. He's still alive. Still alive. The Burning. Oh no, the last hit from the Queen of Pain is going to get the kill. Meanwhile, Sylar still very low. DK Super's on him. But oh no, the Entangle coming in right now. And looks like LGD is going to win this team fight. Looks like it. Oh, Burning's on the run. One hit Entangle. No one hit Entangle. Track giving LGD bonus MS. But that was a 3-for-2 trade. A 3-for-2 trade on a DK mistake, I have to say. Again, Burning was farming on the bot lane. They looked for a quick pick off, and they did not chain suns this perfectly. Maybe they thought their burst damage was high enough. They can bring down the Panda without him popping his ultimate, but they were sorely mistaken. And remember what I previously said about this, big disadvantage that LGD is facing. All you gotta do is have one successful team fight, and you're right back in this. Now they're within a 2-kill margin. They have killed the Queen of Pain, really slowed down on her farming train. Although again, she already have Cypher Vice, and really have slowed down the aggression that the Dire team can mount. And you gotta keep in mind, that's probably one of the last smoke they have used. Smoke does have a 10-minute cooldown, or is that 12-minute cooldown? A very, very long cooldown, and they have used most of their smokes, so DK cannot have the similar type of aggression, and they gotta just farm. And like I said, you can't really farm against this lineup, or at least not with a high chance of victory. But here we go, they want to bring down this Roshan, but they don't have the physical DPS output, and the Radiant Spear is coming right back in. And this is where really having Bounty Hunter is just a true beauty. When you track half their team, you see them, they don't see you. It is so difficult to initiate, and Burning really can't jump in either. Simple, they want to really kill the Spear, they can kill the Spear. That's pretty decent, but he will just resummon Bear. Illuminate across the ledge being such an annoyance factor. Meanwhile, Track being... Oh, Blink Dagger coming in, but the immediate Hex on Yao. He doesn't even have his ultimate. BKB going in on SC. SC should be fine. Sonic Wave gets dropped. The Meg doing so much. And now Queen of Pain out of mana. No, not out of mana, out of HP. Burning gets off yet another crush, but they don't have the damage. The burst damage is all done. Entangle against Burning. Burning have HP. Any kind of stun coming in. Smurf has not hit more than one hero. Burning on the run. The Bear burning everything down. Now the Windrunner goes up north. Team fight are being won by LGD, and have done so without the usage of the Panda split. The burst damage of the Dire team not being kept up. They have great stun lockdown. Splurf, Crush with the Blink. Blink Hex, that's some premium stun. Like, you can't get too much better than that. Unfortunately, they don't have the damage output to follow it up. I mean, Post Nova is not exactly a huge burst damage thing. Venomancer ultimate same likely is not that good. Don't forget they have Shackle Shot as a lockdown spell as well. But they don't have anything to follow up, and Slaughter have to get really far to even remotely be even a contender in terms of physical DPS output. I mean, look at his farm. It's Blink, BKB, Treads in 25, likely a little bit earlier as well, as he has 10k, 1,000 gold to bank after a death. So likely he finished around 22 minutes, 21 minutes. But really, they can't get too much advantage out of it. They're going to try to go down to the Roshan pit once again. Super breaking the Lincoln sphere charge with the Shadow Strike, so you could get the minus armor. But here you go, the Radiant team coming right in. Oh no, Kung Fu Panda, Blink, Clap, ultimate from the Panda. Where's the Windrunner? Windrunner is in big trouble. DDC being focused down. DDC pretty big on the hero model. I thought he has his BKB. Looks like Queen of Pain is going to go for the kill. There's going to be one kill. MY being focused on by the Panda Illusions, and the Horse is coming in doing so much damage. 1-for-1 trade so far. DK is blinking back out. DK entire team really being forced on a retreat, even though it's 1-for-1 trade. Again, a Radiant victory. Sure, they might have used their Panda ultimate, but they have delayed this Roshan just by a little bit longer. Again, Sylar is getting stronger and stronger. Going to be going for Cloak. I imagine going to be going for the full Pipe. Pipe is going to be crucial against this Dire team. Sure, you are still very, they haven't really lost too many heroes right now, but really with the Pipe finish, they will not care about that Venomancer, and for a slightly bit, they won't really care about the Queen of Pain too much. And the Dire team is going to try into the Roshan pit once again. Same thing, using the Lincoln Sphere, breaking it. Where is the oh no, they can't. This team is constantly being seen now. Again, like I said, this is where you want Bounty Hunter. Mixed Roshan team fights, very easy when you see them constantly. Xiao goes in, tracks up somebody. By the way, Xiao is going to be going for Black King bar as well. Let's see how. Yeah, the gold chart slowly swinging back up. The EXP chart really in the Radiant's favor, as the DK team has not been getting too many kills. The Great Venomancer War of China being slightly summoned, but that bear just runs right in, scoping things out, making sure that Roshan is not being done. And let's quickly check out how we're doing in terms of the item. Of course, we've been seeing this Blink Dagger being used continuously, and Vladimir's offering, but a team fight breaking out right now. Two-man Shackle Shot burning, going to work. Can they bring anybody down? They see Yao so low. Yao does not have mana, but the Finger of Death. Leshrac aside, 2 people dead. Slaughter is dead as well. Slaughter has buying back. They finally kill one hero, but that one hero is Sylar though, so that's very, very key. Shackle Shot not gonna latch. Meanwhile though, Xiao A trying to break out Invis, but the Windrunner preventing from him doing so. Xiao A probably better. No, they have Detection? Gem? How did I see him? Oh, there's a gem on Venoman, so they do see Bounty Hunter running away. But that's another teamfight victory here for the Radiant squad. They have lost Sylar, which is very, very bad, but they killed 3 people and they forced buyback on Burning. And I don't think the Radiant, the Dire team could get, again, the Roshan. They've been trying to go in this Roshan for an eternity, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. The Radiant is always there. They did not have the Panda ultimate there, so perhaps that's why they have lost their Panda, but lost their Sylar. But so, pretty good as team fight. Again, you just want to prolong this team, this game, as you have the better late game. By far, you have the better late game. LGD, but I was very surprised by this early game Vlad. Now, obviously, he's not getting for the lifesteal. Vlad is always a very, very interesting item because it gives you so much. It gives you the plus armor, the mana regeneration, the lifesteal aura, as well as a plus damage aura. So there's multiple reasons why you want to pick up Vlads. Normally, the most common cases in pro games, we see Vlads being picked up. In the more late game stages, where pushing becomes a little bit more relevant, where there's more prolonged team fights and whatnot, where Vlad's the plus 5 armor against physical DPS is very, very vital as well. But in this particular game, I feel like Vlad's, in this kind of back and forth game, it's a little bit strange. Now, obviously, the Vlad's aura will still remain on your Panda, even when you split. So you're not getting, you're not losing value when you're splitting. But it does give Celebrate a lifesteal. I think in this particular game, lifesteal is being valued a little bit more so because it's one of those items that you could get to support your carry. That you don't need your carry to get, right? The Vlad's so very key in terms of making this bear a little bit tankier as well. It gives you a lot of small stuff, and that's exactly what they want. Why is this lion so big? Like, why is he freaking ginormous? He's like taller than trees. I thought he BKB'd up or something, but here we go. We're going to see a tier 1 tower siege finally by LGD. Feeling like they're a little bit ahead. They've been winning most of the team fights. Track again, so very helpful. And this tier was going to be gotten for free as a Lone Dread mull it down. But meanwhile, the burning, or excuse, not burning, super on the top lane is going to force out ATP, and that's going to be on the Lone Dread. Also, you got to keep in mind that LGD, because of the recall ability on SC, they could just, you know, TP somewhat on the top lane, push it back, and then recall run right back if they want to persist on the tier 2 push. Why is this Keeper Light so big as well? No, he's on the normal model size. I guess it's just... Is this Syllabert bigger as well? Is my mind going crazy? Is my eyes playing tricks on me? Because Lion's definitely too big. Like, he's taller than a freaking Panda, which I don't think is right. But in any case, and Sylar's really big as well. Although, you know, with things like Battle Cry and... I don't think Battle Cry... Anyways, tier 2 tower siege. I don't think the DK team could take any fights, but they've been trying to initiate, they're trying to break in. And where is the DK squad right now? It looks like Super continued pressure on the top lane. We have MMY farming it as well. Do not actually underestimate MMY, as Leshrac is one of those heroes, even starting as a support role, if you give him enough farm, could give you some late game punch. And I think he has been giving quite a bit of farm. Gem has now been transferred up onto the Windrunner. Force Staff being taken here and there. Force Staff is a very, very cute item in a sense now, after the quote-unquote change slash nerf. Originally when Force Staff came out, I thought it was a buff because the component has become a lot better. But on the frequent heroes that do get Force Staff, like Windrunner, it's like has been nerfed because she really like Windrunner and Invoker, obviously. It really has been nerfed because they definitely do miss the plus 10 damage and the plus 10 attack speed. To be honest, it's not the biggest difference because you're getting the Force Staff for the Force ability. But you know, every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. And I gotta say though, this Illuminate has been the most annoying thing ever. He's got so much gold for a support. He's got 100 creep kill for a support, which is 3 a minute. Not exactly anything too huge, but a mech, when you gotta mind that he got the mech quicker than the DK squad when DK was going off the crazy terror on the early game. And also now Ghost Scepter, and that's gonna really protect him from the slaughter. You know, Slaughter trying to go for a pickup by himself, or maybe we're a little bit afraid of a gank coming his way. In either case, he's chilling pretty. I don't think he's too afraid of anything. With BKB and TP, he should be able to make it out alive in 95% situation. The rest of the 5% being a tango from a bear, which would happen. Which, by the way, Assault Curious is now done on the Syllabear. And this Syllabear is being really, really big. LG says, alright, if you're not going to take the Roshan, we're not going to take it either. We're going to go in and check it out and make sure that you don't take it. So in this particular stage of the game, we're going into a very, very farming-oriented mode. Sylar and his team says, we have the advantage, but at least not strong enough to really take a team fight up your ramp. The Dire team does not have advantage anymore, and they can't really do anything aside from farm. So it's really going to be up to the Radiant to make the first, if a team fight breaks out, it's going to be up to the terms of the Radiant. And, well, DK doesn't like that, but what are you going to do about it? Hex has been finished. Can't mind that Hex has been finished 19 minutes in. And now, about 14 minutes later, 14 minutes later, no items, but 3.5k go in the bank, which is not too much to speak of. They have lost multiple team fights, and perhaps has been using buyback as well. LG looking to push on the tier 2 on the bot lane, and I think they are going to get this tower as well. Winner 4 staffing, trying to power shot, delay this push, but Track will just usher you back. If that does not usher you back, here's a Shuriken toss as well as a Illuminate. Glyph is going to get forced out, but I mean, Sylar is so tanky at this point. Just keeps a bear back, and there's Spliff hitting and protecting the tower. Tower still alive, but Sylar is going to run right back in. One more hit is going to do it, and Sylar picks him out. Yet another tower. These towers' siege has not been slow. Meanwhile, it's burning on the top lane. They see Yao. Don't really think they can actually kill Yao. There's going to be Hex. Are they going to blink back? Double TP coming in instantly. Wow, man, these guys are communicating like crazy. But one person canceled the TP. Gotta keep in mind, again, if you're playing with the Keeper of Life, seeing those TPs may not mean that you have drawn the TPs to roll back. Because, again, they could be TP back with the help of recall. And that's why, again, normally you saw, oh, 2 people teleporting back. Let's go for the Roshan because they have 2 people in their base and their TP scrolls are on cooldown. But with Keeper of Light, the entire equation gets a little bit messier. DK has not gotten a kill for a long, long time, I felt like. Let's see how we're doing in terms of the goal and EXP situation. Goal still around hovering about 5,000, but this slight goal lead on Dire team means little to nothing, as most of those goal lead really came from the towers. Although the tower count is 3-2. Yeah, it's not really that big of a tower lead either, especially with LGD taking down towers wherever they go. Here we go. We're going to see a tier 2 siege on the mid lane here. Again, Bounty Hunter doing this job, tracking just about everybody up. Black King Bar is finished, and will finally DK initiate this team fight. They have to initiate because the slow siege will eventually take down their HP, take down their tier 2. I mean, Syllabear could do this all day long. All day, baby. Here we go, another tower being taken down. Blink, clap, initiation. Where is the Panda Split? No Panda Split just yet. They don't want to needlessly use their ultimate because if the Panda Split happened right there, DK would just run back in their base, wait out the Panda Split, and then take a team fight. But now with the Panda Split still available to go, they could remain a threat wherever they go with their Panda. They do not see the Syllabear TPing back, but they will see him go in the top lane soon. And I think this is cue to go into the Roshan pit. Again, with that said though, recall. Recall is a thing. And that's why DK, again, having such a tough time. You gotta keep in mind, they were up about 5. Remember Queen of Pain taking down the Courier at like minute 1.5? For a split they grabbed, they killed Bounty Hunter once here again. I mean, they had a huge advantage. But their lineup just does not extend to this type of game. Here we go, another smoke use. Remember what I said previously about the smoke? They could not buy smoke for a long time and thus could not be aggressive. And now, like 10 minutes later, literally, they're trying to set up another type of aggression. Tracked up here on Kung Fu Panda. And the entire team looking for a backstab. This could be pretty big, but no. The recall back illuminate here, and they will know this is going to be the biggest backstab. Let's see how good will it be to have the high ground vision perfectly. DD's, no! Birdie missed up on the blink. It got canceled, whatever the case might be. And now the Fire Panda is going right in on MMY. Queen of Pain has picked up the line. Nonetheless, the BKB charges being drained up here. They're going to focus on QQQ. Really in trouble. QQQ is still surviving, but he is going to go down eventually. This team fight is so over. It's so crazy. MMY is going to try to TP out. He has not TP all the way back to base. Just kidding. He has TP all the way back to the base. But another team fight. That's not really a clear-cut win. They have traded a Venomancer for a Lion. That's it. Well, Panda Split has been drawn out. So that's pretty much a small win as well. But not sure. How are they canceling Slaughter's Blink Dagger? I don't think it was a Radiance Bear. Because I haven't. The bear wasn't even. You know what? Let's watch that team fight one more time. Because I can. because we're doing a replay cast, and let's learn. You know, let's learn together. That's what we're doing here. All right. Let's slow it down. My eyes on you, Burning. What the hell? Cancel his blink. I think Burning just made a mistake. Like, I think he just flat out made a mistake. And you don't see Burning making too much mistakes in situations like these. This team fight is just all over the place right now. Everybody and their mom popping the BKB. That's why not too many people went down. But yeah, just on a mistake from Burning. But the thing is, if you're down in these situations, you can't make those mistakes. So, well, we'll see how this game keep on progressing. Again, an even team fight that we just witnessed at Venomancer for a line. It's even on the number score, but it's actually a win for the LG side. First, they get, again, for the umpteenth time I've been trying to say, they go a little bit more later with the Syllabir and whatnot. And you know, Bounty Hunter's not a bad late game hero by any means. Also, secondly, whenever they get kills, they get track kills. So you're getting a little bit slightly extra goals. So, and here we go. The Dire team coming, the Radiant team coming right in, going on this tower, going on this push. They don't have the Panda split, so I think this is, again, one of those slow siege. If this thing gets a little bit ugly, they look towards the LG team, get out of dodge. But if the Dire team don't defend and don't force anything, all DK MMY is going for the invis. No! Any detection? Yo, man, you lucky. You lucky. Meanwhile, Yao going for Black King Bar as well. Yeah, sure, you have Panda split as a very, very valuable survival too. But you can pop out, once you're done with that Panda split, you can still pop your BKB and fight there as well. So basically remain invulnerable throughout the entire team fight. That's pretty cool. Meanwhile, now we're going to see Lion getting a lot more farm. If Lion ever farms himself up to a Blink Dagger, this could be really bad. Force Staff already finished on Lion, and this is where I really said it was a buff to Force Staff, when you have support heroes being able to buy the Force Staff, because the build-up recipe is a little bit easier now. Not the recipe itself, but the way you build the build-up itself is a little bit easier. You know, the Ring of Regen is actually a very, very good item you want to pick up in any stage of the game. In that case, Lion getting some farm on the top. Both teams trading on farm. Quickly going to check out on item progression. BKB is going to be attempted on Yao, like I previously talked about. And of course, for Syllabir, you got to look at his bear. Where your bear at? Where your bear at? Yeah, now going to be going for a Monkey King bar. Jeez, this bear is going to be insane. Ghost Scepter, Gem, Treads, whole bunch of utility-based item on SC. If he ever gets a Force Staff, this could look really, really ugly for the Dire team. And of course, I find out BKB being added on Xiaowei. Xiaowei's having a really tough time. Everybody, it feels like, has more farm than Xiaowei. Yes, even SC. Even the Lion. Well, obviously Lion does not have more farm, but comparatively, being the fact that he's the support, he's getting a lot more farm than really Xiaowei is. Me on the Dire side, Force Staff, Mech, yeah, that's cute. Nothing on QQQ really. Force Staff into a Black King bar, 10-1 MMY. Black King bar is not going to be too useful considering that there is a Syllabir with massive physical DPS output. The Brewmaster is going to do quite a bit of physical DPS output, and the Bounty Hunter doing quite a bit himself. So BKB is going to really allow him to run in and start doing some AoE damage. But in terms of guaranteeing his survivability, they can't really guarantee it. Now Black King bar is finished on Super as well. Again, it's normally a very good item. I think I personally like Lincoln Sphere a little bit better here. There are a lot of single target spells, and Lincoln Sphere can only block one of them. But the crucial one you block is the Hex from the Lion, and generally that's the one that picks you off, because BKB again does not really help you too much when you get entangled by the Spirit Bear. And finally, it looks like we have a Heaven's Halberd. We saw this as Vip Booster way early on, but now he's gone back for the Heaven's Halberd. Or Sage, and then into the Heaven's Halberd, I imagine. Really trying to disarm that Syllabir bear, because that bear is doing way too much work. And let's check out his HP. Only 2300. I'm very, very surprised, considering that he has Vid Booster, Black King Bar, and Sage. All of them give insane amount of HP value. Spirit Bear being sent up on the top lane here to slow down this push, prevent this push, as they don't want to TP back. And slowly TP towards the enemy side. Queen of Pain now in position, trying to do something about this. No. Nice micro here by Sylar. And it's going to TP it back out. Sylar says, we'll play your game, yeah. If you don't want to fight us over Roshan, if you don't want to fight us, you know, at our base, we will just farm all day. This is what I call aggressive turtling. LGD has been turtling on this spot for an hour, I felt like. Normally you turtle in your base, you know, you're afraid of losing towers, you're afraid of being pushed in. Right now, the Radiant team knows they're stronger, so they're turtling right here to make sure that the enemy team does not get their Aegis. Even with the Aegis Immortal, I'm not sure whether the DK team could win the team fight. They could make it very close, especially if the focus fire is good enough. They could kill Sylar quickly, and that could be X factor if he can kill Sylar. Sylar, by the way, does have the MKB finish and 500 in the bank, still getting items and still leading away in terms of farm chart. I've been having this last hit chart for the past 42 minutes, and I know a lot of you guys are getting driven crazy because I really ship in on net worth, and net worth is very, very high. You may be saying, well, Queen of Pain and Slaughter are pretty high into net worth, but they don't use Go as well as Celebrity does, so not really a good point to point out. So let's have a little bit more free space. Looking at top lane, DDC is just going at it by himself. Gonna push down tower, not even going for the last hit, which could be a purposeful thing that he did. If you guys don't know, there is a difference between getting the last hit on the tower versus not getting the last hit on the tower. If you do get the last hit on the tower, your hero obviously gets a lot more gold, and then your team gets 200 extra gold. But if you don't get the last hit on the tower, where it says if like Sentinel the last hit or something like that, your entire team gets more gold. If that makes sense. So I think the difference is like, I want to say 100 extra gold, 200 extra gold. There's some extra gold that you do get if nobody lasts at the tower. Now with that said, I think strategically you should still always go for the last hit on the tower, simply because if you accelerate your farm by 500 gold when you do last hit the tower, you could get into some sick item a lot quicker than you usually would. So for example, even for support, if you get a quick mech or something like that, that's pretty huge. If you're carry, you get 500 extra gold into your quick relic, that's absolutely huge. So in the early game situation, I fully recommend getting, driving your best, even if you're Crystal Maiden, to get the last hit on the tower. Whereas, here in this stage of the game, perhaps letting your creeps get the last hit on the tower is a little bit better. 5,000 go up on Queen of Pain here. I wonder what she's going to get. She could start DPSing a little bit up physically, and how to get an MKB or even a Desolator. That would be pretty cute in conjunction with the minus armor of the Slaughter. Or maybe he's gonna go for things like Shiva's, a little bit more int base. Acceptor would not be too bad, although I personally don't like Acceptor too much. It's gonna be an MKB build, as we saw the gold being drained out of Super, and she does have enough to buy it right now, but obviously saving for buyback. These Chinese very, very safe in terms of well, as I say that though, it's flying towards a secret shop. I think they need a DPS output. Many times in previous team fights, we saw beautiful shackle shots, Spliff hitting multiple people, the crush hitting, and they just can't kill people, or at least not quickly enough. And that's the big factor right now. Also, with that said, I don't think LGD is in as of a comfortable position as I'm making out to be. They are having some slight difficulty pushing out as well, because Super's been doing such a good job pressuring and pushing up top. But Super could only do that for so long, and again, we have not seen recall being used the way I suggested it is. Send one person to defend. As soon as you see Queen of Pain TP back, well, you TP back with recall as well. I think we've seen Celebrity and the Keeper do that once, but they could keep doing that. And in late game situation, the more mobile you are, the better. And LGD is becoming more and more mobile. I guess if we're gonna go for like massive ultra late game status, I mean, the Dire team does have pretty decent late game hero. Like, we have literally 4 semi-carries. Heck, Venomaster becomes a decent semi-carry if you could drop a couple items on him as well. Meanwhile, Keeper of Light does not get any better in the late game. Lion, you really could ignore his Finger of Death, or at least it becomes somewhat mitigated in late game. And Bounty Hunter, I mean, he still tracks and whatnot, but unless he is getting insane amount of farm, which he isn't, he's not exactly the ultimate late game force. So, DK, if this goes long late and everybody gets some items, it could make itself a game. A double damage Queen of Pain on Black King Bar MKB. Oh, this could be the break that DK is looking for. They see Silo coming up the ramp. No, they blink away. Oh, no. Of course, the Observer saw that as well. But they could have really picked him off right there and at least start a team fight on a favorable term. But meanwhile, Gem is being picked up here. Yep. Keeper, and they're going to start dewarding. And now Sylar and team says, alright, we feel strong enough now. We are going to push it in. So they turtle for about 25 minutes, and after 25 more minutes of turtle, they're going to be done. And let's see if DK could turtle for 25 minutes themselves. I don't think so, because this Spirit is doing some work. Although with that said, Medallion Courage and Amplified Damage is slowly draining that HP as the armor values, being completely intruded upon. Bounty Hunter is going to go into Viz, although there's an amp damage on him. It's going to run out right about now. attempt, taking some drink of water. Not too much action happening.
Haste.
I hope you guys had popcorn in the background, because this is one of those movies that gets good slowly, and then gets really, really good later on. DK burning, working. I mean, this is the most exciting thing. They're chasing a spare bear, and spare bear runs faster than burning. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. That's kind of unfair though, that the bear runs faster than like most other heroes with rapid turned on. I guess that's a lure, and that was part of the reason why Mixed Syllabur is so powerful. Burning. Farming away again, like we previously talked about. Burning's hero is not exactly a hero that you want to comfortably go into a post 50 minute game, which is what we're gonna have in this particular game. Super starting to take over in terms of DPS department. Same thing with Shrek. To be honest, same thing with the Windrunner, although Windrunner doesn't have too much item show for it. I like to see actually Windrunner to start going into a little bit more DPS base. Normally Windrunner mech 4-staff, great. Go into a Scythe of Ice. I want to see something like a MKB. Yeah, MKB is a really, really good way to go about it. Or perhaps even a Maelstrom into a Milnir. That's a decent way to go about it as well. Yeah, it's just tough. In this situation, they are slowly accruing a damage, which is great. But I don't think they're doing it in a fast enough rate. Sylar picks up a vid boost on his hero. Man, like, not tank enough. Got 20 armor naturally. Now about 2700 HP. Now that 20 armor could be gone in a blink of an eye in that in the amplify damage. And unfortunately, I keep in mind that there's a medallion courage as well. Ooh, QQQ getting into position a little bit late. You really want to have at least 5 stacks of wards up before that push even gets near your tower. And now these wards going to go down very, very quickly. Here we go. Finally, high ground BC. Shackle shot goes on, and there's that minus armor on that bear losing HP so rapidly. Kung Fu Panda got to be careful. The Yao going into the front line as well, knowing that he has a BKB and the Panda split, that he should be fine. Now tower down to about 300 HP. They don't have the equilibrium pushing against them just yet, although super on the bot lane, as to say, that has destroyed a tier 2 tower. There you go, Maelstrom being picked up here on Windrunner. Really need the damage output, and personally I like Maelstrom pretty decently here, considering that a lot of people have high armor value. We're getting to late game situation, armor value is going off the roof. As you know, the burst lightning damage from the Maelstrom is magical based, so you could really ignore some of the armor points that the enemy team is having. And of course, the attack speed is always nice. Although attack speed plus focus fire is, you know, somewhat of a moot point. This game, I mean, this Roshan normally gets killed at least 6 or 7 times in a long game. This game, we're only on the second reincarnation of Roshan, because this Roshan has not been claimed after that first Roshan, what, 15 minutes in, 14 minutes in, some sick dewarding with illusions. Yes, illusion does carry a gem aura. It is an aura, and illusion does carry auras. So, hey, the more you know. The more you know. Using illusions to deward some sick strats. All right, LGD is gonna try it once again. They still have the Panda split. They still have the Panda ultimates. Look at the order that Brewmaster is getting inside him. One treads, blink dagger, Vlad's blacking ball back into the Acceptor. A lot of players when I see in pub games get Panda, they just blindly go into blink Acceptor. Acceptor is not exactly sometimes what you want. Your hero in certain situations is actually just better. Though this situation might be rare and limited, but this is one of those. Here we go. Mad Style gets popped here on Xiaowei. That's gonna force out Glyph nonetheless, and that ooh, they're gonna murder that bear. You see that? Somebody called PETA. Bear corpse on the ground, and they are stepping over it without mercy. All right, bear number 2. I think this is also an important game where Sylar has to make a decision. If he's keeping his item on the bear and he's setting the bear like that, if that thing gets killed, you're losing over 10,000 gold worth of item for the duration of the team fight. If you can't resummon, which he cannot right now. Or you just put it on your hero, but if you do put it on your hero, you lose a slow siege. You can't send your bear up top and start hitting the racks. I think what they're going to do is keep slow sieging until the tower goes down, and once the tower goes down, he will start transferring item onto his hero, and then just charge up the hill. If they want to do so, ooh, they did find Xiaowei, but no, it gets forced that back out here. Cypher Vicos going on the spare bear. That's cute. Cypher Vice does have a 30-second cooldown, I imagine. 30 seconds. Yeah, 30-second cooldown. Alright, are we going to see the third Roshan? I do believe Sylar could go into the camp, go into pit by himself, with the spirit, with the Lone Druid, excuse me, with the Brewmaster standing here, and with the lifesteal, they should be able to just bring down the Roshan. I mean, you have Radiance, AC, and MKB. It should be easy. It looks like he's not gonna take the unnecessary risk. It's gonna send his bear up on top lane again. I think gonna just wait out on the cooldown. Yeah, they're gonna just wait for the cooldown of the summon Spirit Bird. They really need two Spirit Bird to go about it. I guess Silo doesn't want to transfer the item. They really want the extra DPS that the bear offers. Alright, so it seems like they want to go into the Roshan pit. Xiaowei does have double damage. Man, remember that previous time when Queen of Pain had the double damage? I thought they could have made a win just because of that. Had MKB, DD, and BKB. That was a pretty good time to go. If you want to, you know, look at hindsight. They didn't go for it, so I can't even talk about hindsight's 2020. Because we would never know what would have happened if they went with that double damage and a Black King bar. But now Sylar says, I got the second cooldown on my bear ready to go. So let's try it once again. Once again, up the hill. Amp damage will go on the bear. Medallion Courage will go on the bear. We're going to see Hex Sticks, Cypher Vice, right clicks. Look at that. Just 2 right clicks and a Maelstrom burst. Bam. Down about 700 HP. Xiaowei's going to send his illusions in, trying to get the last hit. Here comes the bear. Bear's going to get the last hit. Can you focus him down? Are we going to have any type of initiation? No, just spell being drawn back and forth. Kung Fu Bandit down to about half HP. That bear gonna get resummoned. Gonna get resummoned. Yep, resummoned. And the LGD says, alright, let's wait for 200 more seconds until the cooldown. 120. Yeah, let's wait for 2 minutes until the cooldown of the bear. Are they really gonna? They are really gonna do that. And to be honest, why not? This is how you win games. But I am appalled. I am appalled. No, don't get me wrong. This is the absolutely correct way to play Dota. As we see the initiation going right in. Force that forward here. They want SC, but SC has the Ghost Scepter. They want Sylar as well. Sylar, so damn tanky. BKB has ran out burning. It's gonna get melted. He buys back instantly. Super does not pop his BKB. Gets hexed up right now. And MMY in trouble. That BKB not enough to save him. Or just, will it be enough? Oh, the magic wand up. The Cyclone up in the air as well. Now QQQ is gonna be running a Force off as well. Where's the stun? No stun. Burning's back. Burning blinks right in. No, the blink forward from Super. They want the Panda, the 6-second disable against Sylar, and now Yao. Oh no, Yao's gonna get hexed down. I think they're gonna try to burst him down. His teammates nowhere inside. They're like, Yao, see Yao later, as he is gone down. Multiple buyback. When I say multiple buyback, I meant just one. Burning uses buyback for a kill and a Pandaren Brewmaster. Is that enough to go into the Roshan pit? They feel like it is. Finally, after some long minutes of turtling, DK says, alright, we're gonna go for it. I wonder what the decision was that made them decide to go for it right then. Heaven's Halberd was picked up just then? No, I think they picked that up and had buyback for a long time. Maybe that's it. They want to pick up and still have buyback. Now Slaughter picks up an Aegis Immortal, which, to be honest, means very, very little at this point in the game. Simply because, again, Burning's hero is not really that powerful as a hero. So, I mean, yeah, they have the Aegis Immortal, but really, what are they going to do? Are they going to farm it for 6 minutes? Or are they going to really take an aggressive fight? We also had been a long time where we haven't seen any Smoke of the Sea ganks here coming from this Dire, so they could be trying to get a Smoke of the Sea or two and then start working on it. Queen of Pain has picked crits. Yes, Crystallis up on Queen of Pain, really starting to be the true DPS on their team. But we also saw how squishy she was in the previous team fight. Now, with that said, didn't pop the BKB and that contribute her dying instantly. But even with the BKB pop, we saw Leshrac, how quickly that he was dropping. You know, he was, again, he's trying to do his stuff, trying to burst people down and whatnot, but again, not really being too effective. One thing I want to point out that you can see that MMY has points into his Lightning Storm. Normally in a European base game, you don't see Lightning Storm being skilled. But in the game like this where we saw slow siege for 20 minutes and you don't have Lightning, then you're missing out because, sure, those stats are very, very key, but you really, really need the defensive AoE potential of Lightning Storm. And here we go, Smoke of the Sea gets popped, just as we talked about. Those Smoke of the Sea haven't been used for a while, and they've been cooling down. Now with the Aegis Immortal, they are looking to be aggressive, but I'm absolutely sure that the Radiant team realizes, well, look towards LGD, run all the way back to their base. Yeah, back to their tier 2, back to their base. They know, like, there's no way that nobody's farming off the map. Sometimes I even feel like you should smoke gank with 4, and with your 5th hero having like some sort of good quick way to join back to the team fight, like a boots travel or a recall, and just not to make it so obvious, right? when you have 5 people disappearing off the map, like, you know, you don't even need to be LGD to recognize that there's a smoke gank. You just have like common Dota sense. So I feel like, let's say if Radiant is doing a smoke gank here, they would, for example, leave the solo player farming up top or something, and then go 4-man smoke gank and have a recall ability or a booty travel on the hero to TP into a fight. It makes it, you know, not so obvious. Kung Fu Panda with the Maelstrom being picked, or Mjolnir being picked up, 2400, 2500. Super going to be going for Daedalus, I imagine. Burning, just going to go frontline tanking it up. Probably Assault Curious and Heart is going to be his ultimate endgame, replacing, well, the Agent's Immortal, obviously, and this. Meanwhile, let's see MMY. MMY starting trying to tank up as well. Point Booster really need to boost up his survivability, as he did miss out on 8 points of stats. He really is far away from finishing his stuff. We would like to have a Shiva Scar and Axe Scepter. And finally, QQQ, I mean, he's getting Pipe, he's getting utility-based item, Ghost Scepter, I love it, I love it. Medallion Courage, very helpful as well. Let's see what the Radiant team is getting. DDC, Force Staff, Blink Dagger, yeah, giving him all the mobility. And I think DDC played it perfectly. The reason that we saw Queen of Pain dropping previously was thanks to his Hex. Blink Hex, I imagine. And there you go, the Axe Scepter now finished on Brewmaster, making his ultimate lasting even longer. Butterfly finish on Lone Druid, as well as a Cloak and Vid Booster, Jesus. Good luck killing this guy down. Where MKB, though, is up on the dire side, so they do have an answer too. SC is now going for a Scythe Advice. Here we go. Is Burning going right in? That's the question. No, he is not. That Radiance, again, canceling the Blink Dagger, tracked up, slowly going in. Buyback check. This is a very, very important time to buy. Buyback check. Everybody on the, well, not everybody. Leshrac has it. Windrunner has it. And that's it. That's it. Of course, there is an Aegis up on Slaughter, so he does not need a buyback. The slow siege happening once again. Gotta check on the lives of this Spare Bear. Amp damage go. Ooh, smoke up with the seat. They really want to jump on this? Are they really sure they can? No, they can't. Amp damage, but look at the DPS output on Kung Fu Panda. That's just a bear. Oh, BKB clap going in. Yao is gonna just right click this up. He's not gonna split right now. Burning, losing all of his HP. Oh no, wasting his BKB, and does go into the split. Slaughter will join back in the fight in just a bit. Now Super going to work on the back lines. Pop the BKB, kills the line instantly. Super will be blinking back in just a bit. And now look at Burning. He's trying to fight this team. Really can't fight this. Mono League on him, and now Super getting focused by the Panda split. Burning a little bit trouble as well. Burning gets Force Staff out. Fire Panda going to work, but that Fire Panda is gonna get right click down. Burning will die. This and Full Bridge Syllabus still tanking up. His Beard not really going down at all. Now it's going to be 1 Rax down. Super in trouble. But a great Shackle Shot. And now Super will be right clicking. That's some super right click. Super getting 1 kill. They see Yao. But will this be a paired victory as they have lost their Rex? Yashaoe goes right back in. Pops the Mantis out. But the Pulse and the Shackle will bring him down as well. Oh, Super baiting him out. And Yao is going to go down as well. Now DK got about 70 seconds to go all the way in on the other side and start getting some huge damage. Maybe start on the high racks. Butcher travel on the bot lane. Go for the Hail Mary, guys. You do not have any inkling of hope of drawing this game out longer. Sell Duff and go for BOT. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Nobody is doing it. Nobody's doing it. There is a buyback on Syllabir, and there's also there's buyback on everybody and their moms, man. There's... Alright, never mind. I guess forcing out a buyback with a Butcher travel is still good, but I think he just wants to save for the data list. By the way, 1 Rax down means nothing. 1 Rax down means nothing. There's a saying in China, which I came up myself, but I'm pretty sure there is a similar mentality in Chinese Dota games. Down 1 Rax, don't matter. Down 2 Rax, start playing. Down 3 Raxes, alright, time to GG. Like, that's really... Down 1 Rax means that they were just like, yeah, I got Lightning Storm. I put down a couple of wards. Let's keep playing. Let's keep playing. Against teams that have constant vigilance that they would never forget to defend, 1 Rax means nothing. Super's gonna double scream this creep wave and gonna earn a whole bunch of gold. Looks like we have a Daedalus. Yep, Daedalus coming the way. And I love the way that Super played it in that previous team fight. We could rewind to it, but I'm pretty sure this game is really, really long, so I don't want to waste any more time rewinding. But the way that she popped the BKB, blinked right in, and instead of focusing on you know, the carry heroes like the Sylar, like the Panda, like the Bounty Hunter, went straight for line. And I think that's the correct hero to go on. Blinked in, siphoned him up, right click, and because he has such high DPS, you could bring him down quick. To be honest, Sylar, you know, he's gonna right click, he's gonna carry. But how much he's going to right click truly depends on how long his supports survive, because it don't matter if you're Silver, if you are trying to fight this fight against the enemy team, 3v5, you are still going to lose. And of course, Lion providing the very, very crucial burst damage. More importantly, the hexes, things like the Force Staff used defensively, the Impale, that is crucial. Very, very crucial. So, good, very, very important that Super did go for the pickoff. Now, Super actually doing very legitimate damage, critting for 1,000. Very, very decent attack speed with the MKB. And yeah, I mean, don't want to count the Dire team out. Remember what I said like about 30 minutes ago? The Dire does have 4 very, very respectable semi-carries, and if you give them enough time to farm up items like this, they will actually do quite a bit. Now, still, the Radiant is still stronger, I believe, but it's getting to the point where DK is actually competing. They're actually competing. I think Windrunner needs another one big item. There is going to be a... looks like she has went for a Blacking Bar. Yeah, Blacking Bar. Such late stage in the game. I'm not sure if I like this. Again, you expect Super to go right in for the disable against the line. And to be honest, Blacking Bar in this late stage game, it wastes 1 slot, which is huge. And I call it a waste of a slot because the stats it give you is... restart it, bro? The stats it gives you is very, very lackluster. Also, you cannot resell BKB because of the recent patch change. You can't sell BKB and buy a new one. So if you ever want to go back to your 10 seconds of magical immunity, you have to fork up another 3,900. So it decreases in strength very, very rapidly. And again, the stat sucks. The stat sucks. And also, finally, what spells are you blocking? I guess it's very, very crucial that you're blocking a 6-second Cyclone. I mean, I think that is getting a lot better as the game progresses. As there's more and more items on the Dire heroes, that 6-second Cyclone is getting better and better, because this is a long-ass disable. So, yeah, I guess that's fair to say. But I really want to see a Divine Rapier. Some point in this game, I need to see a Divine Rapier on either Queen of Pain or better Windrunner. Windrunner with Focus Fire with Divine, no joke. You kill anybody. Silver or not, you'll kill her. You'll kill him. LGD is going to camp this all day because they can. They have 1 creep wave already putting in on the mid lane. And of course, slow sieging in on the bot is, again, keep on doing... I mean, how many creep kills does this guy have? 231. Holy bejesus. Well, still not the, not even near the top. Although, look at this farm. Birding! Once time in his life. Once time in his life, not leading the farm chart. Look at this. Burning on, like, the 7th player, the 6th player? Not good enough, Burning. Of course, he's giving the farm to the players and the teammates who has better carrying potential on his team. Looking, threatening to go in. Last time he blinked in BKB, used like 3 seconds, and then just went straight for the Panda ult. I think you could use a little bit more of that BKB. Perhaps a little bit afraid of the right click and bring him down, but you got BKB up. What is going to right click down? I guess Slaughter bashing, but he's not going to bash you that long. Super doing his thing constantly again. Roshan gets sniped up. Again, oh shit, Roshan got sniped up. Holy fuck. Sorry for missing that one. Excuse my French at that as well. I was too busy watching Super and whatnot. Aegis and Cheese being picked up, and they're deciding to back off. Again, Sylar is gonna TP back. Gonna get TP back, I imagine. He's probably gonna push out a couple waves. Meanwhile, his team is gonna go right there as well. I don't think Super... Yeah, Super is gonna get the hell out of that dodge. And that's gonna give time for the Dire team to push out on the mid and on the bot lane as well. Although, when you're pushing out like this, there is a price of getting ganked. There is a risk of getting ganked. Aegis up on the Lone Druid. I'm not sure whether even... I actually think you give the Aegis to CDC. I'm not even joking. Like, at this point, Sylar is so tank. He's so tank that he is... Like, they are having difficulty removing now. Meanwhile, it looks like we have the MKB being transitioned to the Lone Druid. Just hedging his bet a little bit if that bear dies. You're not losing too much. You're still losing a lot. Still losing a lot. Super 3,500 in the bank. What do you go for after this? Divine, like I suggested. Another int based items. Attack speed based item. Who knows? We'll see. Who has a cheese? That's a question. She is being picked up on Xiao 8. I don't think Xiao 8 needs a cheese either. Like, he just doesn't do anything in a team fight. I think the Aegis cheese distribution should have been on cheese on Sylar and Aegis on DDC. As awkward as that sounds. because Silo doesn't contribute too much. This guy needed because he's a tanky ass. You know, plate mills up on him as well. Alright, LG says, final push time. We got the Aegis and cheese. We got all of our items. Sylar is fat as he possibly can be. Still 4k gold in the bank. Butcher travel. So for if he needs to buy back, he could buy back. Really start considering switching items on up his serial. But he is going to just go all straight up the hill. The Radiance, of course. Oh, nice Shackle shot here. Going on the bear. Bear, look at him. Getting murdered quickly, instantly. Kung Fu Panda. Doing work. The bear's gonna get resummoned. The item should be delivered because if that bear goes down one more time, this push should stop cold. You're losing 9,000 gold. Over 9,000 gold worth of item. Blink, clap, ultimate. No, BKB just right now. Super doing work. Super getting focused by the bear. Super, no, he's in tank up. He's gonna go down. He's gonna blink away very, very quickly. Meanwhile, the winner very low in terms of health as well. Burning in trouble. And now these panda illusions. Look at the panda split getting killed. Lone Red has killed Lashrak. Lashraks buyback. But more importantly, the Rax is being focused down. Sylar, so very tanky, but his HP is being drained. He is gonna go down. No, he is finally gonna go down. But keep in mind, he will respawn in human form. The Cypher Vice will prevent the Hex usage. Yes, he will go. No, he will cheese back up if he needs to do so. Has already used the cheat. Just kidding. Meanwhile, though, Sylar has been picked off, and now DK is gonna come right back. Gem being dropped. Look at how low these guys are. I know this is a long game, but we're gonna watch that team fight once again because it has just too much stuff happening. All right, we're gonna watch let's watch what the Silver Bear is doing. Silver Bear is right clicking. Panda split. I'm not gonna cast this. The post, dude, MMY is doing so much work. Again, he's been dying all these team fights, and meanwhile Sylar says, alright, I'm going to tank the whole team. I don't care, you have everybody attacking me. I know I could be life stealing, but forget that. I want to do as much damage as possible, and did not do so. Man, these team fights are just way too crazy. Sylar trying to go back into bear form, and going work, but Blink from Burning coming in. Burning, by the way, buying back every once of these team fights. So he's really having no item progression. So the question is, what the hell is DK gonna do? They can't really push because mid is really pushing and super is coming right in. They can't really push out bot because the Q rate's right there. Again, are we gonna see a BOT attempt like I called out previously? Right now, DK is not really playing to win. They're playing to not lose. And that's two different situations. When you're playing to not lose, you're delaying the quote-unquote inevitable. They are losing buildings every time the Radiant is pushing. And there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Trading Boots Travel. And here we go. Going for the win, or at least putting himself in a better position to go for a win. I think all that you're going to do is force out buyback. But if you can force out buyback, you are, again, you know, making sure that Silver is not as strong in that next push. And quote-unquote, you are delaying your losses a little bit better. But here we go, DK pushing down the mid lane as well. 5 seconds up to the line. Still 40 seconds to the Silver. I think Silver perhaps need to buy back. Don't be really greedy about this, Sylar. I think if DK goes up on the high ground, which they will, we're going to have to see Sylar buying back. Like, we're going to have to. His Spear's going to be back in 9 seconds. Here we go. Blink Dagger initiation. No buyback just yet. Xiaoe gets 4-staff twice, 3 times backwards. And here we go. There's a final buyback. But Super doing some work. He Blink on cooldown right now. Rax exposed on the top lane. Blink initiation. Ground target on the Impel as BKB ran now. And now the Dire team on full retreat. There's where track becoming beautiful. Look at that long range Monolith. QQQ. Pops a pipe just for himself to delay this inevitable. He's gonna go down. Look, 4-staff, Blink, Impel here from DDC finds MMY. There's gonna be the Hex, and MMY is gonna get picked off as well. 4-staff forward here, double hexes, multiple hexes. He is done. Who has the second Hex? Of course, the Keeper of the Light does. Farming it up like crazy, but signs of life perhaps here. Signs of life from DK. Meanwhile, DK did breach travel on the bot lane as they just want to pressure a little bit further, forcing a teleportation coming back from the Spirit Bear. Alright. This game is, I mean, one tower being destroyed on the top, they're going to go right back in. I think right now we're going to see DK quote-unquote turtle very, very offensively. Very similarly to see how the LGD squad turtle about 40 minutes ago, where you just turtle in front of the base, preventing them from actually exiting. But I think they have to go back and start defending on the top lane as well. We're going to start to see recall coming in. Where's the recall? Recall is being used right at this moment, I imagine. Although if he's being recalled, Queen of Pain is staying close enough. Yeah, they have recalled him already, putting the bear on the bot lane for the Radiance counter push, although not being micro at this moment. Queen of Pain now going back, 4,000 gold in the bank, saving for buyback, obviously. No, buyback cooldown for 3 minutes, so gotta actually get something. 4k gold, I wonder what you can get for 4k gold. I'm not sure. I think though, you want to ditch your booty travels, or ditch your treads for booty travel, and then start considering your next items. I still think the next item is the Divine Rapier. Really need a damage output, but also previously we saw Super just playing ultra aggressive and being punished for it. His BKB only 5 seconds at this point, and I don't think he could kill anybody in 5 seconds. We saw multiple Force Staff pushing that hexed up Xiao A back, so it's very, very difficult. Even Hex to bring down a single hero. Bounty Hunter adds to his inventory with a Talisman Evasion. Let's do a map-wide inventory check. And nothing too much too big, too new to actually talk about. Yeah, Breach of Travel now being picked up on Sylar. BOT number 1 on DK. More and more BOT will be picked up. Don't worry. Ghost Scepter, yeah, Pipe. Still the same item. Shiva's going to be attempted. Perhaps Assault Curious, so they really need one of those. And looks like we're going to see a Maelstrom? Assault? I guess Assault. Sure, Assault and then Shiva's. And then DK has nothing. DK Burning has nothing. So, gold chart constantly in the lead by Dire, but again, gold means nothing. Experience means nothing. All it means right now is focus fire and pickoffs. If DK gets a pickoff right now, they get a Rax. Although, as I say previously, Rax means nothing again, but it gives you a ray of hope. It gives you a slight better chance of victory, and thus the Radiant team senses. We are 72 minutes in. I hope you guys are still enjoying your popcorn or one logout or whatever you're drinking right now. But QQQ is slightly doing work. I do imagine that this ward will score up this ward from being placed. So the Radiant should have noticed something. And DK has yet another smoke gank. Not doing too much. Yep, it is going to be Assault Curious on the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain does not have buyback after this. Does not have buyback at all. Out of gold. Well, she was constricted by a buyback cooldown, but now really need to farm at least 2 to 3k to even have hopes of buying back as a level 25 hero. Here we go. DK is going to be in a very, very dire situation for about, see what I did there? For about the next 5-6 minutes or so. Simply because Queen of Pain does not have buyback. But to be completely fair, if they lose any inkling of a team fight, they are done. Like, they are done. They really cannot lose any more team fights. So that's where buyback becomes very, very crucial. And this is why we're starting to see the Black King bar becoming a drag on your inventory. If you're gonna ditch it, you're losing 3,900 gold flat out. You're gonna start to ditching your gem or whatnot. Gem, by the way, very, very key against that bounty hunter. In these late stage of the game where everybody else has very constricted inventory pools, even that gem becomes a inventory drain in a sense. 3,600 gold here on the Windrunner. Let's just quickly check out on current gold. We're gonna expect any big item coming. 3,500 here on Burning, although most likely saving for buyback. The R team's gonna go on the bot push once again. Finally, all the items being changed up onto the actual heroes. Still a Radiant stuff. Man, we are actually gonna see the more than 6 slot being utilized, and looks like DK wants to initiate this. Oh, that's gonna be epic. No, they wanted the bear. Actually, amp damage. Shackle shot onto hero and bear. But right now, here comes Xiao A popping the BKB. Multiple BKB. Panda clapping as well. MMY going for the post Nova damage. Although, who is he actually posting? The whole game is all Black King barred up. Burning. BKB runs out right now. They see Xiao A. Xiao A is gonna get burned down instantly. Sylar on the background here doing Illuminate damage, which is nothing at this point right now. Oh, the Storm Panda on the run. Panda gets picked up as well. They do see the Earth Panda. The Earth Panda just surviving, trying to survive. It's gonna run out very, very soon. No, it's going for the crush. No, he misses on the crush. No blink. Yes, on the blink. Yow! Escape artist up in this, and he is, no, just kidding. Burning comes right back in. The clap being used, and suddenly the slow, the bashes, everything against Yao. Yao's gonna go down. Excuse me, did I just gonna say MOA? DK wins a team fight that I don't think they're gonna win, and Roshan is right there, H's and cheese. Man, this game, the H's and cheese distribution, back and forth, back and forth. I think DK got the first 2 Roshans. Radiant got the 3rd one, and are they gonna get the 4th one? No, they can't. No, they can't. Everybody's back alive. We saw Silver. He actually went down so quickly. I didn't see how he went down, but I imagine all the focus fire, the pulse damage went on him, and Leshrac alone is doing massive magical damage output, and he's the only one really without a blocking bar. But I love the fact that look at the bear has a Soul Curious and Radiance, and now his like most regular heroes don't even get to this stage in terms of being this maxed out. He still have over 9,000 gold on his non-hero, but here we go. Bear gets resummoned, and that bear, at least at this point, like, gets so easily focused down. Cheese is still on the ground. Somebody's gonna pick it up. I think Super should, although he has no more inventory. Who picks up the Aegis? Burning does. I think this is a correct choice, even though Burning is contributing nothing to his team fight. He always jumps in first, he's always dying first, but every time when he dies, he buys back. You can see that he's always very important to his team because he's such a great chaser. When you have amp damage for a constant sight, and the fact that you could have sprint and blink for the stun, you're such a good chaser when you win those team fights. And it seems like DK has been winning those team fights. 30 minutes ago, I felt like it was all but hopeless for DK. I think they're right back in this game. 1 racks down means nothing. They're winning these team fights, and the 12 inventory slots of LGD being tested. Sylar, where your bear at? Where your bear? Oh no, Sylar gets found. Where his team? His team is nowhere nearby. Where's the amp damage? He's being slowed down. Blink Panda pops his BKB. Burning will not care about dying as he does have the Aegis Immortal. Sylar, he's trying to get right click down. The Venomancer drops his ult as well. Sylar losing HP very rapidly. MMY comes running right now. And Sylar finally dies. He does buy back, but no more bear. QQQ gets focused. Where's the Queen of Pain? Queen of Pain doing work on the backline. Needs to have to dispel. And now Burning comes right back in. Super right clicking away. Would you have the Ghost Scepter being popped? Now Sylar, would you travel right back in the Mobilia Super in this team fight though? He's still looking for a pickup. He still see SC. SC is gonna get focused now. 1 hit, 2 hit. SC surprise plus X. Hey and Burning in trouble as well. That's his Aegis. He cannot. He now blinks back out, and now Super blinks right back in. Super in trouble as well. No more disable though. And look at this backstab from Super, going for more and more and more. And Super carrying his team right now. The Hex on Sylar. Sylar's gonna go down. The Ultra late game carry is actually the Queen of Pain. I can't believe this. Everybody out of buyback. DK storming right back up in this. Holy the Jesus. Light of Heaven comes, or excuse me, Keeper of the Light. I saw Light and I thought Light of Heaven. Keeper of the Light comes right back right now for the buyback, but how much is he gonna do? Burning doing so much in that team fight. He has no item to show for it, but he has really contributed so much to his team. The Aegis and the surviving with Red coming right back, and now surviving long enough to assist in this push. That's absolutely huge. Assault Curious giving the critical -5 armor to quicken their push. Lines back, and Super, you gotta be careful because that Finger of Death, it's coming for you. Oh, the huge Illuminate, barely missing, but the Force Staff forward here. Where's the Blink? The Crush coming in. Force Staff, Finger. Oh, that felt so good. And now Burning, gotta get out. And look at how huge this line's Ghost Scepter. Burning, is he gonna right click the Raxus? I don't think he really can. He needs to get out of dodge. Nice. I'm gonna see Impale? No Impale, no Hexus. But Queen of Pain buys right back. Did she breach a travel? Yes, she did. They really want this Rax. 30 seconds to Celebrate. Celebrate has also used buyback. Keep in mind this bear is also on cooldown, so they only have 1 actual bear at this point yet. Range Rax is down. The top Rax has been exposed on the previous push. DK is actually going to be leading in terms of Raxes at this point in the game. We are 80 minutes in terms of gameplay. DK has finally came out ahead. Blink here, but the BKB has popped on Super. 1 hit, 2 hit, all crits, and now DDC is going to go down. Shotgun from freaking Venomancer. Ultra Lake in here. They see Xiao 8. Xiao 8 1 hit away. Xiao 8's going to survive. Yao, BKB not going to do too much. Pops his ultimate, but that ultimate's really going to delay inevitable. The Sonic Wave again, just for the lows here. QQQ in a little bit of trouble as well. QQQ pops a pipe, and Queen of Pain being picked up in the air. Queen of Pain needs to blink back out, and now all Burning a little bit of trouble. Burning out of mana at this point, and he is completely out of mana. No more Blink Dagger, still trying to sprint away. The one more Boulder Bash. Cyclone, that's going to be doing it. He will not, yeah, there you go. Easy kill, but meanwhile, chases not just from the illusions. Where are we in this stage of game right now? LGD has won a team fight. They're going to go push right back in. I have no idea who is going to win this game. 40 minutes ago, it looked like it was in the bank here for LGD. They just had to go in and easily picked it up. But at this point, I don't know. I am not sure that bear is not tank enough. And this real bear is not tank enough apparently either. Super doing way too much. Has no more buyback. 3k gold in the bank here. Or maybe he's going to stay for buyback. Well, keep the goal for the buyback 3 minutes from now. Kung Fu Panda, is that a new MKP? I think so. Man, all these people are getting items here and there. Yeah, I think that's a new addition of the MKP. MMY has just a point booster and a playmail. Just really no gold to finish anything. To be honest, I think you should ditch something else. Again, ditch the Arcane Boots for Breach of Travel, and then go for Ghost Scepter to round it out. Because Ghost Scepter is really the key here in terms of surviving. Although BKB plus Ghost Scepter exactly don't mingle out too well. Super on the bot lane. Still going to work. Quickly check out how we're doing in terms of gold. Double Ghost Scepter being picked up here as Ghost Scepter becoming more and more as important thing. Butterfly being picked up as well, but the multiple MKB not going to be very important. And that last team I lost my mind when I saw a Darrow Blade being dropped here. I mean, does have 120 stats on agility. Not exactly the biggest EB, but that's a big burst damage out of nowhere. I mean, it's decent. It combines very nicely with Pulse Nova. DK, signs of life, man. Wow. I mean, again, about 60 minutes ago, I said, if you give these kind of lineup with 4 semi-carries enough time to farm it up, they will actually out-carry your 1 or 2 primary carry build, like the Silver. Silver at this point is actually just a carry, and Xiaowei does not have enough farm. Everybody has 4 tier 2 items, and Xiaowei has 2. They're going for a big smoke backstab. Is that going to be the game plan? Yes, I think it is. Everybody and their mom going to pop their BKB, and they're going to go for the backdoor racks. Can they? That's a question. The entire team waiting in the base. Does this guy have BKB? No, he does not. He has the Assault Curious on him as well. Here we go. They're going to walk up the ramp. Oh, slowly but surely. Siler not hitting the racks. Why are they not hitting for the racks? Waiting for the initiation. Afraid of the jump. Shiva's guard gets popped by accident. Alright, they smoke up the hill, set high, tracked one person, and backed the fuck up. LGD Gaming. Alright, here we go. Gonna try that one more time. They didn't have the creep wave, so they were gonna be hitting with the backdoor regen protection on, I guess. But still, I mean, you have freaking Silver with freaking 300. Actually, he's not doing that much. Look at this. He's only hitting for almost 400, 300. That's not enough. Mantisal Illusions gets popped out. His Shackle shot on Sylar. Do you jump on him? That's the question. Sonic Wave as well. QQQ doing some work, but no. Windrunner. It's gonna pop the Windrunner. It's gonna come right back out. Burning doing some work. Who's actually dying? Burning's dying so very quickly. Sylar killing. No, Super blinks back out. Super is weak. Shiva's force that forward here. Super being chased out back. Super does not have the buyback. Buyback cooldown for 30 more seconds. He's got to heal. The Rax is being full breach. Oh no, second lanes of Rax is going down. Track being blocked up, being used again, but I think right now the LGD is running out of steam. Who's teleporting in? That is MMY. MMY, you are in the wrong neighborhood, my friend. Oh no, big mistake. Maybe expecting his teammate come a little bit quicker. Super blinks, man, but Super's gonna die as well. Key mistake here from DK, really preventing them from making this huge comeback. Now Kung Fu Panda running away. The Hex up. No, Kung Fu Panda, it's gonna go down as well. And I don't know whether they do it. No, Queen of Pain buys back. They have it. We did have an item being sold. I don't know what the item being sold is. Now the mid lane though, but look at this mid. We might see some base trade situation as we do have Breach of Travel in cooldown in about 27 second. Venomancer could be buying a Breach of Travel as well. We gotta see some quick TP going back to defend. Obviously though, oh, Blink Hex coming in against Yao. Yao gonna get slowed up here. Xiaowei doing work, pops a Mantisal and gonna try to do work, but Yao getting focused down. Yao blink forward here. Super is gonna get 1 kill. Celebrate back in the fight here. Hex and now Super, no more buyback. Oh no! And now we do have the winner on the run. Pops to the BKB and she should be fine. At this point though, the Radiant team does have the capability to defend with a teleport scroll and then TP you back with recall. This is so imbalanced in this late stage of game. QQ waiting all sorts of time here, just digging his own coffin. And very interesting to see LGD actually chasing for that. And now the teleportation is going to go right back. Burning going for the win here. He can't even actually kill this tower. He's going for it slowly, slowly, slowly. Is Burning going to go for the run? He's going to destroy this tower and blink back out? No. Are you going to start to pop the BKB and now get sprint away? The reason that he's not tracking the bounty hunter is that there is a Mansa on the enemy team, so there's no reason to track. So a very, very, I guess a good backstab coming from Bernie. Gets at least a tower, but more importantly, drew a couple of TP back, or was making LGD a little bit afraid. They didn't know whether it was Burning alone trying to backdoor, or was the whole team trying to backdoor. If the whole team's trying to backdoor, then you really need to get back. So, an awkward situation. Both teams with 2 Raxes. Both teams 2 Raxes full each breach. But more importantly though, the Radiant have no more building. And that's huge. And now the Roshan's back. Aegis and Cheese, if the Dire team has inventory slots to fill it, it's going to be huge, and you bet you they have the inventory, especially on this Windrunner. The Dire team has been just trying to come back just through buybacks, but now having Aegis and Cheese is huge. We saw how big Aegis was on Burning previously, and Burning will more than like, well, he's going to ditch the power threats, obviously, if he does grab his hand up in the Aegis, but now LGD rotating back in, perhaps they could pick up the Aegis themselves as well, and either team with the Aegis is going to be huge. Do we have any smoke usage on either team? No, they will not. And I think by sitting ducks, that Roshan is going to get sniped by the Radiant team. They do so much damage at this point here. Item check the big booster on the freaking bear to give him an extra 250 HP. Oh, a basher here on Lone Druid as well. And blink again. Oh no, the Aegis not going to get stolen here by Burning. Good try here, but not enough. And now the Aegis Cheese being picked up by the Brewmaster. Not exactly the best hero for him to pick it up. And now Xiaowei is going to be a scene. Shackle shot, not going to latch. And now the bear coming right in. The bear so very tanky as a front line man. And now we have to teleport in from Super, going for a little bit of backdoor, at least drawing a couple of TPs. I don't think he's going to get the job done. Sylar in position. As soon as he saw Sylar, he's going to blink back out. And now the chase going on the other way here. Kung Fu Panda looking for any type of shackles. Ooh, Illuminate going to burn away all these neutral creeps. DK going for the win now. Remember what I previously say? Delaying for the win, or delaying the loss and going for the win is 2 different things. And now I truly feel that DK is going for the win. Oh my goodness, this game is really insane. Both teams, 1 team fight away from losing if they don't have buyback. And both teams, of course, I mean, these 2 towers, sure, they combine for 3200 HP, but that's nothing. That's nothing to that Silver Bear. And of course, with this throne fully exposed, you don't want to be in that situation as well. The Dire team does have a Glyph. Glyph become very important as well. But the Radiant team has the momentum, and now the Radiant team looking to push up on the top lane. I do believe this is actually a mistake. You don't really need the third Mega Creeps. I do believe the Dire team will still defend against the Mega Creeps. I think you want to push up to the mid lane and then change pushing into a different lane, and well, I don't think you could go for the throne either. I think the Radiant team is just in an awkward situation. Fighting for this last line of racks doesn't mean too much, but going for the throne is just too risky as a move as well. But here we go. I think that's their best move. It's not a good move, but it's their best move. They're going to just push right in. And let's see how DK will be able to defend this. Agents and Cheese up on the Radiant this time. Cheese up on DC. I still believe he should have the Aegis Immortal. And then the Aegis up on the Brewmaster. Although, to be fair, in that last team fight, Burning poured right in. So, you know, somebody had to grab anything. So I think like getting Panda just spammed a little bit faster. Yeah, you got to defend multiple lane here as Sylar. Butcher traveling mid on the mid lane here, and he's gonna most likely gonna get recall back by SC. I gotta say, man, even though Keeper of Light is not doing anything in terms of damage output, he's really just doing like Monolith and casual Illuminates. He's actually providing way much mobility for his team, which is mobility is all you ask for in late game. Alright, slow stage coming up here. Track becoming beautiful once again. Super does have the buyback. MMY close to have buyback, not really here. BKB gets popped here. Yao just walk up the ramp here. Sonic Ray just blowing down some creeps. And who is going to focus on Super? Super's got to get focused. MMY gets 4 staff out as well. The Hex going. 2 hit, 3 hit. He's stunned. He's got the H. No big deal. Kung Fu Panda's got to heal up right now. The Raxus being breached. And the Raxus got to get right click down. They want the heroes. They're going to get the heroes. Sylar going on Burning. Burning's out. Burning, does he have the buyback? Burning's going to be dead. Burning does not have the buyback. I think the Dire team is going to get breached open. They do do not have, they are out of the resource. Kung Fu Panda gonna get focused down. He has regioned up, Shackle Shot. Oh, Sylar's gonna get picked up by a Venomancer War, I think it is. Super gets hexed up. The Chain Slang coming perfectly from DDC. Super is dead. The Super have buyback. No, they do not. The entire Dire team is out of it. And finally, it does work. It does work. 12 slot Syllabear versus your entire team of 4 semi-carriers. Is it done? That's a question. MMY. No more backdoor. I'm keeping my eyes on the mini-map, and the throne gets destroyed. 90 minutes exact. GG in the capital letters being called out here. This game is insane. I will just let you look at the stats. It lasted almost 700. Combined lasted well over 3,000, I want to say. Gold, crazy. Experience, crazy. This game is insane. I'm not going to spend most of my time talking, or any more of my time talking about the late game analysis because my throat is dead. Last shout out, this is from the G1 League. If you want to see more insane action-packed games, go to LD Dota's channel and check it out. Of course, support my channel, subscribe to me, watch my videos. Of course, I'm doing a 350 marathon, more Dota content coming out your way. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and until next time, this is Luminous. I'm signing off. See you guys.